Here's your no-drama dose of local good news. It's a calm way to start your day that might even work for that morning carpool. Hey, good morning, Wake County. I'm Steve, your friend, your neighbor, and your host. Thanks for joining me today, where we skip the noise and start the day with something good. Today's stories come from very different corners: a park, a hillside, and a little cardboard box. But they all share a quiet thread: second places or second chances, and the people who believe in them. Yesterday, we talked about the joy and wonder of Dix Park in Raleigh. But today, we need to talk about the human cost. Right beside one of Raleigh's most beautiful landmarks, a quiet tension is rising. Dix Park, 308 acres of green promise, is transforming fast. And so is everything around it. Just across from the new Gibson Play Plaza we talked about yesterday, Crane's Tower, where there once were quiet streets. Rockaway Raleigh, a huge new project, is adding over 1,000 luxury apartments, shops, and an urban trail connection. They're calling it the Southern Gateway to downtown. It fits what I call the center of what's next for Raleigh, said Stacey of Kane Realty. She said last year, 1,000% it's part of what we're selling. And they're not alone. The Weld, Mirror Raleigh, Capitol Square, all told, more than $700 million in new development is headed for Dix's doorstep. And that's where things get complicated. Just off Lake Wheeler Road, a Wake County schoolteacher rents a modest home with her daughter. They love having the park nearby, but recently she noticed something unsettling. If you actually look at those survey stakes they have in people's yards, she said, they go all the way up to the front porch. And those stakes, well, they're markers for a needed widening of Lake Wheeler Road. It's part of a city effort to accommodate the growth and add sidewalks, bike lanes, roundabouts, and crosswalks. It's progress, but for this teacher and her neighbors, it feels personal. There's a lot of good, she said, but I think what we're going to do is communities like this are going to eventually push people out. Dix Park Executive Director Kate Pearce had said she knows those fears are valid. People are asking, will my landlord sell to a developer? They're worried about being priced out. The city is trying to address those concerns through affordable housing efforts and thoughtful planning, but you know what? It's not easy. Great urban parks often thrive when they're surrounded by strong edges, vibrant communities that live and work and connect right beside them. But sometimes those edges cut deeper. And when it comes to Dix Park, one of Raleigh's most beautiful and inclusive public spaces, the land it sits on carries, it's a complicated story. Long before playgrounds and picnic blankets, this land was home to Indigenous peoples. In the 1700s, it became part of the Spring Hill Plantation, worked by enslaved people. And then in 1856, mental health reformer Dorothea Dix helped transform it once again into North Carolina's first state psychiatric hospital. For over 150 years, patients lived, struggled, and were treated in a red brick complex many Raleigh residents still remember. I do. The last patients left in 2012. Every chapter brought change, but also loss, homes, lives, histories. And even now, as the park blooms with energy and joy, the roots remain deep and still tender. So here's the real question Raleigh faces. Can we build something beautiful, inclusive, and joyful without erasing the pain, labor, and lives that shape the ground beneath our feet? And as new roads rise and cranes swing steel into the sky, current residents feel their own version of loss creeping in. Survey stakes in the front yards, and questions about whether they'll get to stay. Undoubtedly, Dix Park is a gift, and no doubt about that. Like any big gift, it reshapes the space around it. So maybe this time it can be different. Maybe this can be the chapter where the transformation brings the greatest shared joy, where this land finally offers the most pleasure, connection, and community benefit it's ever known. Not just for some, but for all. So here's the good news. Raleigh isn't turning away from the tension. It's leaning in, it's talking, it's listening, it's trying to write a different kind of story. Progress doesn't always have to mean loss. It can mean learning from others, planning smarter, and keeping people, and not just property lines, at the center of it all. The flowers are blooming, the playgrounds are open, and the conversations are happening. And maybe this new chapter will give future people not yet born a chance to belong right here in Wake County. And if you've got a story of growth, change, or second chances in Wake County, I want to hear it. Visit tapyournews.com and fill out the podcast story form. It could be part of a future episode. Some stories just tumble right into your lap, or in this case, down a very steep hill. Abby Lampe, a North Carolina State grad and a Johnston County native, just rolled her way to second place in England's wildest sporting event.
My name's Abby Lampe.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Well, what brings you here?
Yeah, the cheese race.
The Coopers Hill Cheese Rolling Race in the UK. Yeah, cheese. It's rolling down a hill, fast, painfully fast, with lots of falling, rolling, and tumbling. Abby's no stranger to this mayhem. She won it in 2022 and again in 2024. This time she came in just behind a hometown racer named Eva. But her Wolfpack pride was on full display in her NC State shirt. This year she told the BBC it's a little upsetting to come in second, but there's always next year. She's already planning her 2026 comeback, and her strategy? Be the cheese, go as fast as I can, and try to get down the hill. She's really good at this contest, even if this year it was nacho cheese. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt in the race. Not everyone is so lucky. One guy ended up in the hospital this year, but I hear he's good now. I'd like there to be more moisture on the hill, she added. That's not a sentence you hear often. So while this might not scream Wake County, we're claiming it anyway, because when someone from Johnston County flies to England to risk life and limb for cheese while repping NC State, that's a win in our book. Hey, Abby, thanks for showing the world how we roll. Literally. Every now and then, a little cardboard box carries more than what it seems. Outside the Wake County Animal Center, one box held a tiny Yorkie named Benji. He was missing a front leg, and the back leg on the same side, it was badly broken. He was covered in matted fur, left in the night. Nicole Kincaid of Perfectly Imperfect Pups got the call. She said the Yorkie had already had a front amputation, and the back leg on the same side was severely broken. No one knows what led someone to leave him there. Desperation, no money, too many closed doors, probably a little of all of the above. And Nicole said, a lot of the rescues are full too. It's really hard. As a dog rescue pilot, my wife and I have flown dozens of down-on-their-luck or injured dogs to new homes after medical care. And I've seen what kindness can do. But this story hit me hard. I couldn't pass it by because the photo of Benji, the one with the drooping ear, looked just like Carl. He was a rescue dog that we flew, but brought home to live with us. He was a miniature schnauzer that was nearly furless because of a tick infestation. He had no teeth and smelled so bad in the plane that day, I kept calling him Mr. Stinky. But he thrived with a second chance. We only had him a year before cancer took him, but that year, oh my God. It was joy for him and for us. It was grace. It was everything. I still miss that little guy. Benji's story isn't over yet. He's recovering slowly. Surgery cost more than $6,000. And still, those rescuers didn't hesitate. Donors helped raise money too. He's the sweetest little guy, Nicole said, and he'll be available for adoption soon. After seeing the picture of Benji, I'm fighting the urge to try it and not adopt him myself. He's going to be a new hero in someone's house for sure. Maybe yours? So today we talked about a city balancing beauty and belonging, a racer who became the cheese, and a little dog who reminded us that kindness doesn't need a headline. It just needs a damn chance. If you've ever been part of a second chance or offered one, I'd love to hear your story. Visit tapyournews.com. Share it with me through the podcast story form. And if you've enjoyed the podcast today, please help this grandfather out by stopping by Apple Podcast and leaving a 5-star review. It'll help more people find this little show, born right here in Wake County. Thanks for starting your day with me, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. See ya.